Hey, what's going on? This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro studios. Welcome back. Welcome back to my Empire Pro. Today we have quite a few topics I want to discuss with you. Um, let's just make sure that audio, everything is working good. I think I have 5 topics we're going to discuss today. I come here every week, once every week on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. right now. Unless I'm out of town, I'm not in this around the studio or anything like that. But typically every Tuesday I'm here. So we're here to talk about real estate money. So if you're brand new here, if you're brand new here, please make sure you visit realestatemoneysecrets.com to get the free books. Okay, you'll get access to Real Estate Money Secrets. This book, this is my second book, and this is my first book, Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. That will give you access to those books for free. These are books that you need to read 10 to 15 times if you want to master this game. This is not a book for people that are doing looky loose all over the place. If you know you've struggled on other platforms and you're trying to figure out how to get to generating leads so you can consistently do deals back to back to back, bring in money so you can take care of your family, then these books are for you. All right. So that's what I have now. With that being said, let's just go right ahead and dive into the first topic. Where to get money for flipping houses? Where to get money for flipping houses? This is an interesting question. The kind of person that would ask this question clearly is brand new in the game. You just stumbled into the idea of flipping houses. Maybe because of the pandemic, you're looking for other ways to make money, bring in income to your family. House flipping is definitely a good strategy to learn to bring in income into your family. Now, there are 2 different types of house flipping. You have just people looking for deals so they can wholesale to investors that will actually do the work. And then the second types of house flipping are basically investors that will actually acquire a property, meaning they will actually buy the property, fix up the property, and then list it back on the market with a licensed agent for profit. All right. So either one of those two are valid ways of making money or valid methods of real estate investing. There are probably about another 7 types of real estate investing that you will learn inside of this book, Real Estate Money Secrets. But those are the two methods for flipping houses. Again, you're just finding the deals, you lock up the property under contract, and then you flip that contract, the rights to the contract, you sell it to another individual that will actually exercise the right to purchase the property at a predetermined price, a price that makes it make sense that you will make money. So it's always a reverse engineer math from how much is the property worth after repair. So there's something called after repair value, and then you want to make sure you buy the property significantly lower than that after repair value, adjusted for how much it's going to cost to repair the property and some other cost. Now, one of the few costs that comes with this type of business. So you have money cost, you have holding cost, you have closing cost. Those are the 3 main types of costs that comes with doing these deals. The money cost is essentially what we're talking about when you say, where do you get money for flipping houses? The good news is that the one asset class that the banks are willing to give money to is real estate. Okay, the banks are now willing to give you money to buy stock from the stock market. Okay, they're not willing to give you money to buy bonds. They're not willing to give you money to buy cryptocurrency. They're not willing to give you money to buy forex exchange deals, right? But the banks all day long in in most of the developed nations and most of the popular nations around the world are willing to give you money to buy real estate. Why? Because they know that real estate is almost like a guaranteed asset that retains its value. No matter what happens to the economy, real estate retains its value because people will always need a shelter over their head. They need a roof over their head. Sorry, and that's why. So, with that being said, that's the answer to the question. Where do you get money to for flipping houses? The banks are willing to give you money to flip houses as long as on paper it looks like a profitable deal. Now, how would they verify, how would they vet that it's a good deal? Well, it's public records in developed nations like United States. How much a property is worth is actually public records. There are more elaborate ways to find out what a property is worth, but if you go on Zillow and you type in any property address to Zillow.com, to Redfin.com, you can literally look at the what's going on in the neighborhood, have an idea of what properties are worth in that neighborhood. But with what we do here, we get into a little bit more of an elaborate that will teach you inside on how to evaluate the value of a property. So we look at what the comparables, we call them comparable sales in the area. We call them comps, right? These are essentially properties that sold in the area within the last 6 months or 1 year, depending on the standard, depending on the condition of the market. Right now, I think it's very important to be looking at just 6 months and not 1 year, because the market is obviously things are slow everywhere because of the pandemic. So, but it's just a numbers game. Once you know what the property is worth, then you now know what the property is worth after repair. And then you multiply that by 65%. If you're the one that's actually going to do the fixing of the property, that's by 70%. And then you adjust that number for what is it going to cost to repair the property. And then you have what you call maximum allowable offer. Okay. So to answer the question, where do you get money from? The bank. The bank are open to give you money, especially if they know they're going to make money from it. So remember, money cost, right? There's money cost, there's holding cost, there's closing cost. That money cost is the cost of using their money. That's basically the profit that the bank makes from doing this kind of deals in partnership with you and giving you the money to do the deals. How much of the money are they willing to give to you? It depends on what program you're plugged into. It depends on, that's details, okay? But the good news is that the banks are always willing to give you money if the deal makes sense. If you have a terrible credit or stuff like that, again, this is money making venture. You can partner with people that have good credit and you can get the deal done. What about down payment or stuff like that? Well, down payment is involved if you want to fix and flip the property by yourself. So, but even that, you can also structure that into the deal as part of the money deal, right? Somebody else will give you the money, you pay them 8 to 10% to 12%, in a 12 on a 12% annualized interest rate, and then you can do the deal as long as the deal makes sense and you're able to make money. So where do you get money? Other people's money. OPM. All right. The second topic that we should discuss here is how to get started in real estate flipping. How do you get started with real estate flipping? Well, first of all, it starts with desire. Okay, it starts with a desire. You need a strong desire because, your faith will be tested. Okay, it's business like any other day. It's entrepreneurship. Okay, so sometimes things will seem like it's not going the right way or in the right direction. When that happens, are you going to quit? Are you very quick to say this doesn't work, or your way to Google? You can at least Google a terminology and say, hey, there's something I just came across, let me Google it. You find out more information, you learn more, and then you continue to practice, and then you become better and better. So you start with a desire. Okay, start with a desire, and then when you have the desire, that means if the desire is strong enough. How do you know if the desire is strong enough? Well, you need to have a strong why. If that's strong enough, then you will be willing to be patient. You'll be willing to dedicate some time, some energy to learning the craft, right? So those are two things I think is required. After that, if you're completely brand new like that, I would definitely say grab these two books, okay, and read them 10 to 15 times. Now, you don't have to wait to finish reading them before you get started, okay, because you'll be given opportunity for coaching. You'll be given opportunity to look over my shoulder and things like that you can get started a lot faster. But this is like something you read every day for the rest of your life if you want to win in the game. Okay, so that's something I would recommend. The books, You want to keep them next to you. If you're the Kindle type of reading type of person, again, you can access all of that from Smart Real Estate, any of the website you see on the screen, real estate, smartrealestatewholesaling.com or Real Estate Money Secrets. All right. So that's how to get started. The other thing I want to mention here, and I need to mention this word, is education. Okay. You're not being educated right now. You're on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you are on the podcast. That's good. That's cute. That's okay. Okay. But the truth of the matter is that the people that really advance, they also advance beyond just YouTube. They advance beyond just social media. They figure out how to find their way to a more in-depth education coaching type of platform. Why? Because when you are coached, you are also working with people that are experienced. There's just some things that you can write down. And then also the bigger channels on YouTube, they are in that game for a reason. They make money from putting out YouTube videos. So they're much more interested in entertaining you, meaning you can watch a longer video than actually educating you. Those are two different things. They can be interwoven, but they're two different things. They are much more interested in entertaining you than educating you. Over here, it's about education. So for an average person, we don't expect them to watch more than 1 minute. For the people that are serious, we expect them to watch 100 videos right after this, 800 videos on this channel, because they're just interested like that. So that's how big education is not limited to YouTube. You have to take it off of YouTube. You have to focus in one direction, stage by stage by stage by stage. So like, for example, the education we follow here, you're going to actually learn something by way of, let me show you this really quickly. The 5 stages. So we go in depth to each one of these stages that's involved in flipping houses: data, contact, leads, contract, and deals, right? We go into those details. These are the kind of stuff that you're not going to find on YouTube, step by step by step. That way, if you get stuck at stage 2, you'll know that you're stuck at stage 2. And if you get stuck at somewhere else, you know where you get stuck, and we can answer your question better. Plus, you will be asking better quality questions, because the quality of your questions will be what they call educated questions. Okay, you know what stage where you got stuck, and that's the reason why, for the most part, you want to remove yourself. You want to go through YouTube, get entertained, feel on it, see who you are attracted to that can educate you in the process. But the key word there is process. There is a process to the madness, and that's how to get started. Just understand that this is a real craft. This is a real business. Okay, it's not a joke. You're not just gonna buy some $7 stuff and that's it. You're gonna figure it out. It doesn't work like that. Anything that's worthwhile in life, it's going to take time, process, and patience. So, and that's something you should just keep at the back of your mind. So we started to answer that question from desire. If you have this strong enough desire, anything I just told you will sound like music to your ears. And if you don't have a strong enough desire, you probably are not hearing me any longer. You already dropped off the video, and that's fantastically okay. All right. So let's go on to the next one here. Let's see. The next topic we want to discuss here is how to find motivated sellers, I guess, for wholesale real estate. How to find motivated sellers for wholesale resale. So, like I explained earlier, let me just refresh, a quick refresh. Wholesale real estate is when you find properties that are in distressed situation, or the owner is distressed. You're looking for the owner, by the way, not just the property. You find the owner, it says, this house is a headache for me, I just want to sell it. They say, oh, well, it's worth $150,000. No, it's worth $200,000. You say, well, I can't pay more than $130,000 for it. How much work does it need? Does it need $50,000? Okay, great. So that means I can only pay up to $80,000 for the property. How did I do that? 65% minus the repair estimate. Okay, that's the math. Okay, so now why would somebody who owns a property that's worth $200,000 if it's fixed up, if you spend $50,000 on it, if it's fixed up, it's worth $200,000. Why would they sell me the property for $80,000? Well, because they're motivated. What is their motivation? Who knows? They want to move. It's too much of a headache for them. They inherited the property. They don't want the property. It's vacant. It's just a headache. There's a lot of taxes and stuff like that they have to keep coming up with every month, and it hurts. It hurts when the property is not producing. No one lives in the property. It's vacant, right? So that's what you call motivated sellers. So how do you find motivated sellers? I think I gave away the answers already. How do you find them? Well, it's public record when a property is vacant. Okay, if it's vacant, the United States Post Office will know. So it becomes kind of like public records when there's a lot of return mail coming from the property, right? If the property is non-owner occupied, meaning it's owned by a landlord, and that's easy. That's public records because it shows that the person's primary address is different from the physical address of the property, from the property address, right? So that's also public record. So as far over 100 million properties in the United States, the records, how much money is owed on them, how much taxes or liens are against the property, those are all public records. And the good news is that there are softwares today. You can literally go to empirebigdata.com, and you get access to all of the properties with all these attributions, right? What problem the properties is going through, how much money is owed against the property, is the property facing foreclosure or bankruptcy. All of that is public record, and when you have access to such information, that's essentially potentially motivated sellers. So that's one way. The other way that we teach is that literally you can advertise on the social media platform. What we use is Facebook and Instagram. You can literally set up an ad, and the ad is shown to everyone in any location that you want. And when people see those ads that say, "We buy houses, we're just looking to buy houses," there are literally going to be thousands upon thousands of people that will see those ads, and quite a few of them will be interested in selling a piece of property that they don't want anymore. Burnt down houses that needs lots of work, and they're motivated. So, but it's better because they're reaching out to you, and it's also easier for you to set up an evergreen lead generation pipeline when you set up PPC ads on social media like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So that's also something that we cover extensively in another version of our 11 days challenge. All right. So that's how you find motivated sellers. Remember, I said it's public record when these properties are going through issues, when the property is non-owner occupied, vacant, facing bankruptcy, foreclosure, underwater, they owe too much on the property as compared to what the property is actually worth. These are things that can potentially lead to an owner feeling extremely motivated to get rid of the property. And those are people that you can help them solve the problem. What problem are you solving? They own a property that's basically a liability. You solve that problem by helping them get rid of the property, and you can make money in between. You can make 10,000, you can make 20,000, you can make $25,000, my average per deal, or you can make up to $82,000, my highest ever in 15 years. It's all doable. So, two ways. Again, you can reach out to them with their phone number, or you can set up attraction marketing ads that will basically fill out your pipeline in an automated way. That way you don't have to stress over cold calling. You don't have to stress over door knocking or driving for dollars. You can set that up, and your pipeline is just feeding it, and you're calling people back just that are already interested. They're sellers, and they're potentially highly motivated sellers. Okay, which means you can really find really good deals. So your job there is really to set up a lead generation platform that will bring in leads from time to time. And as I showed you earlier, if we go back to that really quickly, you can see those stages right there. There's data, there's contact, there's leads, there's contract, and there's deals. Leads is when somebody says I need to sell a property. That's a lead, right? Majority of the people that are coming into this game are wasting a lot of time at stage number one, which is collecting data. They're driving around town, writing down addresses, right? But there's a stage that you need to get to. You need to find those people's contact information, and you find those by way of a process called skip tracing. And again, if you go to empirebigdata.com, all of that stuff is in there on how to do that. And then once somebody says, yes, actually, I do want to sell this property, that's basically lead generation. But if you use attraction marketing by way of PPC ads on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, you can literally jump the whole process all the way through stage 3, and all you have to do is talk to those people and lock in a contract, and then you can potentially make a lot of money. But regardless of where you are in the game, you have to go through these 5 stages. All right, so let's go on to the what's the topic here? The next topic, the fourth topic we'll be discussing today is the taxes paid when flipping houses. What taxes are involved in flipping houses? Well, there's a lot of information out there. The first thing I want to tell you is that I am not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. So you want to make sure you as soon as you start making money, you want to make sure you're talking to a CPA, okay, and make sure that you're taking advantage of the tax laws in your particular state, whatever part of the world you're in. There's certain laws that's peculiar to you, and you want to take advantage of that. Now, with that being said, I'm going to share a couple of things with you. First thing first is that when I make money in flipping houses, it's considered what they call capital gain. Okay, especially if it all happened within the same year, it's called capital gain. If it happened another year over, there are certain loopholes that maybe your accountant, your CPA will be able to tell you. But I don't really look at that. I don't worry about how to save money on taxes until later, until after I make sure that 50% of every money I make is set aside for two things: either to pay taxes or to spend back into the business. Okay, so let me say that again: 50% of every money I make is either to spend, is retained for potential taxes, okay, or to spend back into the business. Okay, so when it's pure profit, meaning I already spent money back into my business, there's got to be 50% staying on the side for taxes until that taxes for those years are paid. But here's what I'm going to tell you: when you flip houses, it's a little different from when you hold on to a house to rent out to people, right? So when you rent out, when you buy to hold real estate, which we discuss heavily in Real Estate Money Secrets, when you buy to hold on to real estate, you have certain tax advantages that comes with the fact that you can take advantage of depreciation laws when in fact the property value is actually increasing. Okay, so they allow you to kind of write off taxes like you're actually like the property is depreciating. Okay, I think over a period of 30 plus years, 36.5, something like that. And in real fact, in real life, the property is actually increasing in value. Okay, so it's like double. It's double. It's like double income coming into your life when you learn how to buy and hold on to real estate. But if you're buying to fix and to flip back into sales, meaning you just want to collect 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand and keep it moving, that's just income. That's called capital gain. It's just like playing the stock market and you make money and you pay a little bit more you pay more taxes on that. Okay, but again, the business is still worthwhile as long as you make sure that you're running this as a real business. And again, talk to a good CPA once you start doing deals. But I just said something: once you start doing deals, there's a lot of people that get stuck with this, trying to figure out the technicalities of taxes, and they haven't figured out how to generate leads, how to collect data, how to generate the contact, how to generate leads, how to turn that to contract, and then close deals. The 5 stages. There's a lot of people trying to figure that out. Those are the most important thing. Those 5 stages are much more important than taxes, than LLCs, than in the short term. In the long term, of course, you want to make sure you have your legalities in order so you don't end up in a tax evasion type of craziness. Okay. But in the short term, the first thing is to learn how to generate leads. That's the first thing. And that's something that we cover extensively in the books when you gather the books and go through our programs. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, let's go on to the last topic of the day. All right. How much money do you need to wholesale real estate? How much money do you need to wholesale real estate? Well, kind of similar to saying how much money do you need to flip houses? Well, you need a job. Let me just say that like that. Okay. You need to keep a job if you're trying to wholesale real estate. You need to keep a job until your income is absolutely replaced. Okay. What the mistake that I see a lot of people make is they quit their job thinking that they're going to get rich tomorrow. It's very highly likely you will never get rich. I'm just being honest with you. Okay. Uh, you know why? Because it depends on you. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know your work ethics. I don't know what you bring to the table. Okay. Now, with that being said, when you have a coach, it's a little bit easier, as you can imagine, to especially if you spend good money on that, right? You want to make sure that it's worthwhile. So when you pay attention, right? And when you don't pay, you take it for granted. It's just life, it's nothing bad or good about that. It's just what it is, right? When you pay attention. So how much money do you need to wholesale real estate? I'll tell you like this. Some of you are looking for straightforward answers. You need at least $400 to $500 per month for marketing. Okay, it's not for buying real estate, it's for marketing. Because remember, the idea here is that you're looking for motivated sellers. You're looking to collect data. That will cost you about $97 per month. Okay, or for the software that makes your life easier. If you want to drive around the courthouses and writing them down, that will cost you even more. Right? So it's $97 per month for that. So that's for just for the software collecting data. Um, the next stage is uh, turning that to contact, so you can basically add another maybe $100 to that per month. Okay, so that's about $200 right there. It does cost, but maybe a little bit less on the skip tracing part, which is to find the contacts, right? Next stage is to generate leads. That's basically your ability to be able to create outreach either by way of marketing or by way of texting to the people that you've already got their phone numbers, right? Or you can use Facebook for that, which is a lot more easier and cheaper, in my opinion, right? To generate leads. And then, so let's not worry about money there. So let's just say maybe another $100, so $300, right? Okay, so and then depending on how many times, I always recommend to do outreach per week. I've prescribed in the 11 days challenge, I've prescribed easy way to keep a structure into that. And then stage three is generating contracts. So your leads are what turns to contracts. So that's just your effort that's involved in that. There's no extra money to pay for that. Maybe for DocuSign, which is the software that allows you to be able to sign contracts anywhere in the nation without leaving your house, right? Maybe another $50, right? And then converting those contracts to deals that cost you nothing. The only thing that costs you maybe skip tracing, depending on what level you want to be doing that at, and maybe so we're looking at a ballpark maybe $400 to $500 if you're really doing it tight. The key thing in this game is consistency. Is really how consistent you can be. So if you spend $400 to $500 per month on the business, and you know that this is about consistency, you will close a deal, and that deal will pay you $10,000 to $20,000, and that will basically pay for the whole year of marketing, and then you can keep it going and just build on top of that, right? So that right there is probably the straight answer you're looking for. But at the end of the day, it's not even about that. It's about your desire. It costs you at the end of the day nothing to have desire. Now, if you're jobless, all of this will sound four to $500 like it will sound like a big deal to you. That's the exact same reason why you must take this serious. Figure out how to get a job so you can change your life. That's exactly why. Because if you're so broke and you can't come out with $400 to $500 per month to run this business, maybe that's why you should take it serious. Maybe that's why you should figure something out, right? So that's what I have for you. Hopefully, that was enlightening and educational. Hopefully, being enlightened and educated. Go to Smart Real Estate Wholesaling, or you can simply go to realestatemoneysecrets.com. You can go to myempirepro.com. You can go to 11dayschallenge.com and figure out how to get yourself into the program. And let's get going. My program is not just me talking head. That's what you find here on YouTube. The program is you look over my shoulder and you're taking step by step until you close deals back to back to back, not just closing one deal and trying to figure out how do I do the next one. That's because you didn't have a process in place in the first place. All right. So thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up buttons and the whole bells and whistles. Make sure you share this with the word, tag people, let them know that we're actually talking some real business here. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.